So you have this berserker symbol that is a Viking Norse symbol, but it's showing bear and it's saying wolf. Well, okay, so you've got this symbol here, and you've got this symbol here. Norse Brotherhood. And then you've got the symbol here. Change of plan. I'm going to play those portions of the video and I'm going to answer to your question as I'm led to. As I'm led. And it's really the spirit because I myself have no idea. So, the Norse, the symbol, the Norse, the symbol.
Do you see this, Hireling? This is one of the main reasons for people not wanting to approach you with any kind of feedback or questions of any kind. And it's because when you can't attack the information that they're bringing, what do? I'll tell you what you do. You start analyzing their complete surroundings. And then you start to direct your focus from the brunt of the question that's being asked of you. Then all of a sudden, the person that's asking the question is getting pulverized for something that's in the room that Hireling wants to try to use to divert the attention away from him not knowing anything.
Norse Brotherhood. And then you've got the symbol here.
He does this with his cousin. He does it to me. I even showed everybody the video from way back when Hireling and I were first started communicating. Yeah, I was in the background talking away about why I thought Jesus spoke in parables. But what was Hireling doing the whole time? He was scanning the pictures that I was using as a background. And then he started to focus in on a cave that had big crystals in it. And then he kept asking why I was using the crystals in my video. He was looking for the boogeyman again, but he could never find one.
I mean, I'm sorry, Jonathan, if you don't like me saying this, but yes, I do believe that includes the KJV Bible. I've said that the Father's true children were born with the spiritual DNA to be able to decipher the truth from the lies. And that's why Jesus...
Okay, I really wonder what it's about, these picture with the crystals, okay, underneath, okay, I'm not sure exactly what's there for.
spoke in the parables, because he knew that the true children would be able to understand his work in the parables, able to decipher the Father's true children were born to be in every aspect of life. I mean, I'm sorry, Jonathan, if you don't like me saying this, but yes, I do believe that includes the KJV Bible. I've said that the Father's true children were born with the spiritual DNA to be able to decipher the truth from the lies. And that's why Jesus spoke in the parables, because he knew that the true children would be able to understand his words.
And what I believe is that they had to have exactly the right words in their time to be able to decipher the parable. If the words are changed, they cannot decipher the parable.
I've said that the Father's true children were born with the spiritual DNA to be able to decipher the truth from the lies. And that's why Jesus...
Okay, I really wonder what it's about, these picture with the crystals, okay, underneath, okay, I'm not sure exactly what's there for.
See, Hireling, most of the time you don't care what people have to say, especially if it goes against your claims that you're indeed the Elijah spoken of that was to come. Because if you don't demonstrate that you're totally in his corner, that's when he's going to slap you across the face with some stupid accusation, over a symbol that was used on a poster or on the cover of a book, which you got completely wrong, by the way, Hireling. You don't care, as long as you were able to accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish, and you did, didn't you, Hireling?
Norse Brotherhood. And then you've got the symbol here.
because I laid out a case that was well over 30 minutes, all of it concerning the different versions of Daniel 9:25, the ones that I had found. But after over 30 minutes of facts presented directly to your face, all you had to say for yourself was that it was a Norse bear god symbol or something ridiculous like that. And that's the Bible you say that I said that I believed. But absolutely nothing about the question at hand. And it's all because you can't seem to come to the grips with the fact that your authorized King James Version, that it just might have a few errors in it. I'm sorry, but it's true, and I proved it. But you just don't want to accept it, Hireling, and a few others out there as well, because then all those convenient parables that you keep spitting out, they'd start falling apart, wouldn't they, Hireling?
And what I believe is that they had to have exactly the right words in their time to be able to decipher the parable. If the words are changed, they cannot decipher the parable.
Oh, and while we're on the subject of symbols on a book cover, how's about you do a little bit of research on this symbol? That's being put out on another one of King James' works besides the Bible. Yeah, as it turns out, when he was King James VI of Scotland, he wrote a 3-chapter piece called Demonology. It was all about how to detect witches and then be able to torture confessions out of them so that they could be burned at the stake.
Okay, so some of the stuff that I remember going into, and let me just say this real quick. Let me clarify which King James this is because it could be more, so people know specifically the one I'm talking about is the King James that was in authority that allowed the 1611 KJV to be put together. He did not translate anything in this book. People think it was by him. He was just a person in authority that allowed a group of people to translate.
Uh-huh. So, Hireling, are you prepared to go back to the old witch trial days and take part, in all the innocence that was literally picked up on some trumped-up witch charge and then was senselessly murdered for nothing? And King James would even sit in on the interrogation and torture confession sessions. And if that wasn't bad enough, when he became King James the First of England, he republished that same book. A book that the witch trial prosecution would use as a checklist in order to convict and kill all these women. And that was all documented to have kept on going on for over a century after his death. All those senseless witch hunts, Hireling. So how sure are you about all this KJV onlyism that you promote? So why didn't you ever tell anybody about the demonology book that King James released twice, prior to the Bible?
Here, okay? Change of plan. So, Hireling, how would you spell right out the 69? It's an important part of the puzzle, eh? And then, he's prudent. Who can say otherwise? Who can say contrary-wise? It says that it's revealed unto babes, but hid from the wise and prudent. Here, there is a misunderstanding, and from the start with Jean Revel, I said to him, I'm glad that I don't read the same way that he reads the Bible. From what I read, after that, what I speak out is by faith. And that's the way I'm going to answer you concerning this.
Okay then, Hireling. You say that you're going to answer my question through faith that it's the true Father speaking to you, right? Well, let me ask you this then, because somebody besides me was confused on this one. So was it you, Hireling, or was it the Father? Was it really the Father that made the mistake of you describing the symbol on that Bible cover as being some type of Norse bear god? Or whatever the hell you said you thought it was?
So you have this berserker symbol that is a Viking Norse symbol, but it's showing bear and it's saying wolf. Well, okay, so you've got this symbol here. And you've got the symbol here. Norse Brotherhood. And then you've got the symbol here.
Or was it you jumping to conclusions once again, Hireling? And then you have all the leeway you need to start accusing people of just about anything you want to, as long as you tell yourself and everybody else that it was God telling us all these conjured up mistakes you keep throwing out there, almost every chance you get, too. Well, then I guess this just makes everything A-OK in your book. Eh, Hireling? When are you going to start coming to the realization that there's something going on here?
So there you go, Hireling. There's your Norse god, wolf, bear, whatever. Is that the symbol that you were looking for? Is that the symbol that the father said was on there? I don't think he did. I think you made it up. And before you say all those white specks, look at all those stars. It's called paint splatter. It's from the thrift store, sorry, but that's where I get a lot of my literature, I said. But look at this one over here, Hireling. I hope you find some imagery in here that's very anti-Christian. Look at all that. Same stuff you said was on the New Testament, right? What'd you call it? Something Celtic? Well, guess what? What do we have here? KJV. Huh. Holy Bible. What's all that doing on the KJV? Can you tell me that, Hireling? Right? I mean, if we're supposed to break this symbol down, why can't we break this one down? Let me just prove that it's the King James here, so you don't make something else up. The Holy Bible King James Version, large print compact edition. So unless you got a problem with that, I don't know what you're talking about, Hireling. Seems like you got a problem with a lot of stuff, but no answers, unless they're your own parable answers. And that's why you don't want it to be realized. I get it.